So I just did a whole 17 minutes. Just did a whole 17-minute video, and the audio wasn't recording, and I started with this really nice bit of guitar. Not sure where that last bit went. I wasn't quite where I was going. So yeah, I filmed a whole 17-minute version of today's briefing, but the sound was not recording. But it was a good day. I was basically trying to summarize why it was a good day, and maybe I just tried to remember. It's a shame because when you've said everything so authentically, and then you have to retrace your steps, you've lost that authenticity. There was this whole great bit, I was speaking about my first guitar teacher. And my first guitar teacher was the singer and artist Anna Calvi. And Anna Calvi is now a very established artist and has done music for shows like Peaky Blinders and her own music, and she's very big. She's done Royal Variety shows, she's done things for the Royals, she's just very big. Anna Calvi, look her up, she's big. She was my first guitar teacher, and I lived in a place called East Sheen, and her parents, where she was living, their house was down in Mortlake, which is just down the road from where I was living. And I had this blue Strat guitar, like electric guitar. No, I had this yellow kind of steel string guitar that was too hard for my fingers. And she was this kind of young, beautiful 27-year-old guitar teacher, and I was 12, chubby. And she was teaching me the guitar. The first thing she taught me was Wild Thing. What was it? What was it? So it's bum, bum. So she taught me that. I remember it was not quite like that, but wild thing, dun dun dun. I'll never forget that actually, and that's something I didn't include in the previous take. But yeah, so she was my first guitar teacher, and I'll never forget that. And then when she got a little bit more busy, I had to get a new teacher because she was in a band. She had to do things, and But before she stopped being my teacher, I bought her a Lion bar, a Lion chocolate bar for her. Obviously, I must have had a crush on her or whatever. I wanted to get her a chocolate for the lesson. It was, how sweet. It's sweet, a sweet young boy with a female teacher, 15 years older than them. It's just cute, I think. So I feel very fondly about my first guitar teacher. And then I reached out to her on Instagram many, many years later, and she remembered me. And then I sent some weird, I was like 21, I sent her some like weird message. I totally blew the moment to be like, I found you. Then I had another teacher at school, wasn't quite a big fit. And then the greatest teacher of my life in anything was a teacher called Mark Baker, who was my guitar teacher from the age of 15 to 24. And we had a very, very special relationship. And it's when I think of teachers in my life, there are a few that stand out as much as him. He's like one of the greatest influences on me in terms of like an older presence in my life from someone that's not a family member or like a good friend. I would even consider him a friend at this point, even though he's like in his 40s and he's got a kid and he's in a totally different part of his life. And now I live here in Sicily, but I always have there's a very tender spot for him in my heart. And the guitar is a big part of my identity. And that never would have happened because of him. And when I haven't been playing recently, I've been feeling that part of my identity has not been there. It's not active, it's not present, and I want it to be again. So I'm playing a little bit more, and I think if I just keep playing a little bit more every day, I'll get that back. So it's a big thing for me. I love the guitar, and I've not been pushing myself in it recently because there's not been time. There's not been time to learn new pieces. There's not been the mental energy to think about something complicated, like something like. Something like that takes a lot of time to learn, and that was something I had to get a tutorial for and learn how to play and all that sort of stuff. So like something like that, I haven't learned anything new to play in a while. I learned that in 2020, which is from a song, but I haven't that for me at the time was a big challenge because it's and then the melody. It's like the thumb being independent. Anyway, I'm going off topic. But yeah, so it's a big part for me, and he was a big influence. And when I was thinking about this, it was in the context of how important it is to be a good teacher when opportunities arrive, because of the impact that we can have. And so when talking about things I did today, this script, I finally finished this script, and I'm actually happy where it is. I see a way to improve it as well, which is not always what you get from a first. Sometimes you do a first draft of a script, and you're like, okay, that's done, on to the next thing. But then sometimes you do a script, and you're like, interesting, I can do a second draft of this because I think I know how to improve it already. So that's where I'm at now. I feel like, okay, I can improve it. So I'll do that, because right now it's a lot of dialogue. I want to make it more visual with less dialogue, less on the nose. So I'll do that because I have an idea for it. Then, so I finished it. That was great. Then what Gloria needed help with today was these local youth who had this idea of something they wanted to do. They wanted to make some sort of film that had a meaning, that could have an impact on the community based on a certain thing. Like it's a story about, something going on at school. I don't want to go into what it is because it's someone's personal story. So But basically what I was saying to them is, look, you have this person's personal story. You want to make some sort of a film about it. So I'll tell you now about how to make a short film. And I surprised myself in a sense because it's so much on my mind about story and about script writing and about all the the foundation things you need to create an engaging script are all just very much in my head right now. I'm really reliving part of my film school days, just relearning all of this stuff for myself because I'm practicing it. But then also, like, actually some of it is just second nature now from doing so many different short films and from doing so many different scripts. You get into a certain comfort level with it, but then it's like, then how do you actually make something exceptional and not just something that's just kitty? You can tell a story which hits all the points, all the beats of a script, and it can still be bloody boring, so you need to, but I know really how to make a structured script, but doesn't mean it's interesting, doesn't mean it's good. Anyway, but sharing all of these concepts to fresh eyes and fresh ears about how you construct a script, like, who are your characters? What do they want? Where is this set? Why are they making it now? Why is this happening now? What is the story? And it was really, really great, and it's a really good reminder of how important it is to be of service in whatever capacity you can. And so this was a great opportunity for me because, I'm here, I don't really speak the language, but Gloria was there to translate, and I want to be of service. And so this is a way of helping serve in the community. And I've always wanted to be a filmmaker that doesn't just, I'm pursuing my own personal goals right now, right? And it's a big thing. I'm trying to back myself that this is my career, I'm trying to build my career. But if you try to build your career just for yourself, it can get pretty shallow pretty quickly. So when there are opportunities there to be of help to others, to help inspire the next generation of hyper creative kids, super creative kids all over. And with each generation, every generation has something that the previous generation didn't have. I didn't have TikTok when I was their age. I had iMovie. So me, my brother and my sister, we made loads of iMovie movies on our iMac, and we were incredibly creative, and I was incredibly embarrassed at my wedding when they brought them out. The generation before that had like VHS tapes. You see examples of like the Jackass guy, someone like Steve-O, who would be huge on TikTok if he had TikTok at the age he was, but he made loads of VHS tapes, skateboarding, doing crazy stunts, and that's how he got big with these kind of skateboarder magazines. Then like you go back even further, you got like Steven Spielberg, who first got into filmmaking by doing Super 8 cameras and using Super 8 film. So it's like with each generation they have an incredible growing tools at their disposal to be creative. And some might choose to just do TikTok dances, or some might choose to do all sorts of crazy videos. But like if they could really start to learn about what is storytelling, what is the storytelling that has been passed down from generation to generation, how do we tell a good story, then I would love to be able to be part of that, sharing that with the next generation. So we did that today, and the homework I gave these two youth was, look, we have all these points now of our story, we have a structure. Now I need you to go away and write the whole thing. Write every single detail you can imagine, bullet points, prose, whatever. Write it all down, because then once we have that, we have the draft. I was trying to press on them. Look, nothing will happen unless you finish a first draft. If nothing ever happens with anything in filmmaking if you don't finish the first draft of a script. You have to finish that first draft, because from the first draft you can build in all sorts of directions. So that was a really good thing today. And then, it was the fact that was coupled with finishing my own script, and then finishing my own script before that, and then being in a script meeting in the evening for something else after that, was just, it feels like today was the day of being and finishing writing, inspiring another generation to write their script and to help them do it, and then being collaborative in a different script. I think it's been a day of really good stuff to do with writing. So I'll have to think of some sort of title to do with writing. And I still went to the gym, and I'm going to make my wife dinner now. And based on all of this stuff to do with writing, another one of my goals is I really want to read a little bit more. So tonight I'm definitely going to probably read a bit of one of my Stephen King books, because that's really the only books I have here at the moment. So today was a good day. It started badly. I was feeling really low self-esteem, but it's picked up. It has picked up, and it's good to take the positives. Not to be too low, not to be too sure of myself, because I've still got so much I have to build. I can't really rest on my laurels. So I don't want to get too happy and too relaxed, but at the same time, it doesn't help me, and doesn't help anyone to be low, super low. So you've got to find that middle ground between being hungry but content. So yeah, I really need to cook now because it's getting late. It's almost 8 o'clock. So please like and subscribe if you've watched this far. I will be releasing videos every day still, but I'm going to be releasing them now at 8 a.m. the next morning after I film them, because I think that's better for the algorithm. It's also easier for me that if I finish editing at night, then I can schedule the upload for 8 in the morning. It just works better for me, so that I'm not, and it also keeps a consistency. So if you're in England, the release time will be 7. If you're in Central Europe, it will be 8 a.m. And if you're in America, North America, I'm not sure. I think the only North American viewer I've got is Aaron Hooper, and he's just an unbelievable guy who seems to watch my videos regardless of when they come out. So, yeah. Tune in also to the Aaron Hooper on YouTube. Tune in to him every Sunday. He releases a vlog, so go and watch him there. I'll put a link, if I can remember. I'll put a link in the description or in the pop-up thing. Hey, how about here? If I remember, let's put it here. Link to Aaron Hooper's YouTube channel, if I can do that. Maybe I can't. Go support my friend, even though he has like 10 times more followers than I do. So he should give me a shout out. Anyway, so what I'll do is finish this video with some clips I didn't put in yesterday, which is a very sweet clip of Gloria telling from her perspective about the first time we held hands, because where we were yesterday was in the street that goes towards the main piazza in Catania, where we first held hands, and she's very sweet. And then I'll also show some of the delicious pistachio arancino that we ate. Yeah.
Same chain. They just have 2 shops.
Are you hungry now, Gloria?
Very hungry.
Do you remember when we came here, when we first...
Yeah, here you first hold my hand.
In this place? Describe the moment.
Well, we were walking, and then you suddenly took my hand, and I was like, I wouldn't to give you my hand because it was too soon, but I thought anyone has a specific way to show love and shouldn't be judged. So I let you free.
But you wanted to hold my hand.
Yes. Not in that moment maybe, but then I found it nice. That's it.
Let's get some food.
Yeah.
Grazie. Grazie mille.
Grazie. Sì, grazie. La bottiglietta d'acqua? Grazie.
So, Gloria?
I'm really excited. I can't wait. So it is like... Louis.
Eat it.
Ah!
Is it hot? Must be fresh, actually. It looks fresh. Right.
It's already so good.
So,
It's so warm.
what would you rate it out of 10?
10.
That's a rookie score. Wow.
Crunchy outside.
This is arancino with ragu.